Welcome to November 2023. Happy Thanksgiving for those of you that worked. Thank you for working on Thanksgiving. I hope you got to spend some time off. For everybody else in the world, I hope you had a good Thursday. Anyways, to my right is Nick Huston in New York. Hi. In the ether in Atlanta is TK Edmondson. Hey, TK, how you doing?
In the forest.
Doing well somewhere deep with the internet connection.
I think we have to say happy tentative end to the strikes. I know people are getting back to work slowly. We've seen an uptick in expendables and walkies and people putting their carts back together. Very exciting stuff.
That was big news out of from SAG, and hopefully it gets ratified, and we can look forward to a prosperous new year.
Indeed. So what do you got for us?
All right. So Remote Audio has launched their BDS version 5. That's the smart battery distro. So it can read data from smart battery. So that's the first time that Remote Audio has done that. It has 2 TA4 inputs and 8 outputs. The outputs can either be the standard 2.5 millimeter long locking coax or Hiroshi 4-pin. And the cool thing is you can prioritize draw from one input if you wanted to run that off of AC power or a larger battery, so it will not drain your second backup battery. And there is a Bluetooth app planned for the future. So this is cool. It's already started shipping. We've gotten our first couple of batches in. It's $485, and it's a big improvement over the V4, which is also still available and also still cool. Don't worry about the V4.
That's right. I really appreciate the prioritized input. For like you're doing a sit-down interview, you have access to AC. It will draw from the AC without touching your battery, but as soon as that AC is gone, for whatever reason, it'll switch over. So welcome addition to the BDS feature set.
Absolutely.
Next up is the Zaxcom VRX1. This is their version of a Comtech, and this thing is really cool in my opinion. It's they announced it at the Atlanta Mixer, so nice of you. Thank you, Zax. But yeah, this thing works in VHF. It's going to utilize all those frequencies that are underutilized, if you will, and will work with a transmitter from the Comtech ecosystem. We'll also be building a future ecosystem. Zaxcom has future plans for a transmitter. There's the GUI bridge involved. You can add a whole bunch of channels to this receiver. So it's a pretty cool product. We'll have a full video out when we can get Glenn to sit down and do a demo on this. You guys can expect that to come out in January sometime. And yeah, check this out for your own eyes and ears, the VRX1.
Nice. I really feel like the VHF spectrum is underutilized, particularly for digital transmissions, which can, the digital transmissions can really make that spectrum shine, in my opinion. So,
right.
Yeah.
And that's, there's not a digital transmitter down there yet for this, but I do know that Glenn and the Zaxcom gang have done some DSP on the receiver end to make the analog transmission sound better.
Sound the best that it can.
Sound
From an analog Comtech.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I heard it in
Lots
Atlanta.
of good reviews on that.
Yeah, I heard it in Atlanta. There's a noticeable difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Good. So next up is not really something new as a product, but it's a new announcement from Sound Devices about changes to their approved media policy. Basically, Sound Devices is no longer going to certify media to approve it for use in their recorders. Instead, they've set out a set of guidelines to help check media so you know if it's going to work for you. So we do have a set of recommended media that we have, and there will be instructions. There are instructions posted online. Also, Sound Devices brand media is approved. So that's them certifying their media.
I love their testing regimen for unknown media. But if production is paying especially, just get them to pay for the Sound Devices approved media. I mean, that I think is the safest choice.
Yeah. I mean, certainly for peace of mind, it is. Historically, productions have been cheaper, and it's cutting off your nose to spite your face. And I think, especially with media being what it is on the camera side. saving $100 on the sound side is not going to make or break the budget. So
Right.
just
compared to the risk.
Compared to the risk, exactly. Yeah. I'd rather pay $100 extra than lose tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars of sound for a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, they have some MixPre firmware updates. So now you can use both the timecode and the audio output on the stereo out of the 3.5 millimeter.
So like one is tip, one is ring. Is that
exactly?
The idea?
On the MixPre 3 and 6 version 2, Mark II. Slate mic routing matrix for the MixPre 10.2. And also 2 instance noise assist plugin available for the MixPre 2 series. And also, this is cool, the MixPre 3 with a +2 channel plugin could be the MixPre 5, meaning to have 5 ISOs using the 3 pre's and the 2 returns.
And that's the 1 and 2 that plugin.
Correct. That's the 1 and 2.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
$79.
$79, not bad.
Filmsticks. We got to talk about Filmsticks. It's a new line that Gotham has taken on. Weatherproof clappers and sticks and pens and tools, carabiners, straps. Very cool. It's rugged and waterproof, and it's a really great alternative to the other kind of what I call dumb sticks, dumb slates that we've carried in the past.
Yeah, it's definitely an upgrade to the dumb stick line for people just starting out, or to have as a backup, or even for the little tiny slates that camera guys like to carry around. So we'll be getting those in stock soon.
Good.
All right, just announced today from Ambient, which will give you an idea of when we're filming, is the new Quickpole Slim. So this is a 4-segment pole, and so it is compared to the QP5 series, which is the main Ambient pole. It's thinner, so it's 30 millimeters instead of 34 millimeters. It's lighter, so it's 1 segment less. It's got better locks, so quarter turn now completely prevents any kind of twisting, and it's got the black tip, so you can, at the end of the pole, so you can easily identify which one it is without having to look and see if there's a 4 millimeter difference. Because at the top of the other ones, there's a different colored tip. I forget if it's blue or if it's purple.
I think it's anodized.
Yeah. But I know, the old this is basically in response to them no longer having the QS poles, which were the previous, black tip poles. So anyway, they've got 2 different sizes, the slim long and the slim short.
For me, because I have the QP pole, the 4-segment version of the 4 series, it just reminds me of the QXS version of the poles from the 4 series as well. It's like finally somebody got them to make this, so I'm kind of excited to see how this works.
And it's really for people that have smaller hands, which my hands are not the biggest. It just fits more comfortably.
Well, this could be a good travel pole though too. The short.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. 39.4 inches.
Yeah, 4
collapse.
inches.
So.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Less than 4 feet. That's perfect.
That'll work.
Next up is film devices, and they have a very cool thing. They've got parts to build your own sound cart. So they have a full kit, and this includes 2 wheels, 2 handles. You get 2 cable hooks, a headphone holder, and this is all for the brilliant price of $475. They also have a couple of individual parts. You can get this essentially a la carte. It would be $160 for the wheel kit. It's going to include 2 wheels. The handle kit goes for $160 as well. It's a dual set. They also have a swivel cable hook, $75, headphone holder for $65, and all this is available now. So check out our video from NAB earlier this year. The film devices, they just do a really, really cool job of just letting you kind of have this modular approach to setting up the cart for whatever the workflow that you have, and it's just it's nice to see that somebody's providing that option on the market.
I really love this because a lot of the sound carts are 80/20 frames, and I've often thought I could kind of put one together, but then I kind of get stuck on the custom accessories. And I think it's kind of brilliant that Film Devices is offering just the custom accessories, because there's so many options.
Exactly. Yeah, it's hard to be, there's no one size fits all for cart. We do get a lot of calls where people are like, well, what's the right thing? And
Right.
it's like, what's the right thing for you? You're your own unique individual, and I'm different, and everybody's got preferences. So if you can build your own and make it just the way you want it, I mean, that's really the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So up next, with the strikes being over but with things being slow to return in terms of work, we've been working with some different financing options with different partners and putting together kind of a slate of things to help people get gear if they need it to be prepared for their next job or to upgrade or, however. So if you need it, and this is really just if you need it, it's not a sales pitch, but if you need it, we have a couple of different options. The latest one is from Archer Capital, which, in addition to regular financing, they do have a deferred payment option. So you can get, like 3 months of deferred payments if you have a credit score over 700. There's obviously an application process, so you got to apply with everything. As always, we work with Able Finance through Able Cinetech. And BreadPay, which has 0% interest loans available, PayPal, which can do 0% interest and split pay over a couple of months, Synchrony, which has 12 months interest free, and Hampton Ridge, which also is very flexible. So, again, we have so many different options because everybody has a preference and there's nothing right. But if there is something right for you, we're happy to help you to finance stuff.
Yeah, and I believe Sound Devices also is offering their own finance option.
That's right. Yeah, Sound Devices has their own finance option. You can apply through their website, and it would still go through your dealer of preference. So you can add, if you needed lavs to go with your A20 transmitters, you can still finance those. It's not just the Sound Devices items. So we're all, I think across the industry, we're trying to think creatively about how to allow people to upgrade or be ready for that next job without having to risk something or without having to risk their savings. So to be able to spread out the payments.
Yeah. And I think, you're always going to pay a premium for that. And I guess there's a couple of things I would say is it's all sort of applied for and processed off, out of Gotham's hands.
Yep.
And then I suppose I should take everybody to camera 2. So let me tell you about my cat operation. Yeah. My cat needed an operation, and at the vet, they offered Synchrony financing. And, they said, look, no interest for 6 months. And I thought, great.
3 hours later.
And so, look, the moral of the story is that Bernard got his surgery, but I had to pay the entire interest from 6 months due in one lump sum when I thought I was just about done paying it off. So please, please, please pay attention to the fine print.
Thanks for that fascinating story.
You're welcome. Fuji NP50 batteries are not available due to supply chain issues. Those are the batteries used in the SSM from Lectro and the Zaxcom ZMT. We don't know when they're going to be back. The LB50 from Lectrosonics is available. And so, look, I think just like we talked about with Approved Media, get the Lectro battery. I know that there's tons of options on Amazon and even other sites, but definitely stick with the brand that we can get behind.
Yeah, and it is one of those with Sound Devices doing the testing, right? If you have the time to do the testing, by all means find a less expensive card and do the testing.
Exactly.
If you have the time to do the testing on another NP50 battery that you source from the internet, just make sure that you have the time to test it to make sure that it's not going to crash on you when you're 2 hours in and that you've wasted all this time and potential money and all that stuff.
Exactly.
New from Nylon Industries, they've got a really great take on having pouches for the various amounts of receivers out in the marketplace. So they now have this available for the ZMT, the SSM, the A10, as well as Sennheiser G series, the Comtech, the PR216, I'm sure works for the transmitter as well, the M26 as well, 216s, IF Blues, various prices from $33 to $45. So yeah, check these guys out. If you need a solution for your receivers, Nylon Industries, they have neoprene belt pouches for you.
And this has been a big hole in the market for as long as I can remember, especially for people that love the G4 IEMs. Mm-hmm. There's just not a great belt clip to protect, to have it clip onto, a director or producer's belt, and also have a cover. So this is quite nice.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Coming soon from LMC is the VClip-Omni, which can transform a mic mount into a vampire clip by attaching to any mount, including Ursa Hydemic, Viviana, Bubblebee. Pretty cool. So you attach a mic or any small device directly to the vampire clip using double-sided tape. We're excited to get our hands on this because it definitely is a useful thing to be able to go from just an isolating mount to a vampire clip.
Mm-hmm. And especially like where a lot of people like to keep their lavs in a certain clip, but if you want to just add the vampire on and take it off, you don't have to take it out of that preferred mount.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
A couple of highlights from our friends at Mojave Audio. So the MA-D dynamic mic won some awards recently and is selling for $159. The MA-37, which is a large diaphragm tube condenser with multiple patterns, selling for $34.99. They're available now. They're special order for us, so give it a couple of days before we can ship. But Mojave has some legendary audio quality, and we're happy to work with them.
Nice. Peplink, those are those cellular routers that we're so fond of. They have a pretty generous couple of offers. One is $400 in value that you can trade in any cellular router from any manufacturer. You'll get $400 towards a BR2 Pro 5GN, which is a pretty great router. Or if you get the PR1 Pro 5GN, you can get an additional year of Prime Care as a trade-in. And Prime Care, of course, lets you remote control it, lets you do all kinds of monitoring remotely, and there's a warranty associated with it. So it's a pretty cool deal.
And that's what we have in our rental department is the Pro Care, because like you guys set some stuff up for me that was really neat where I was in a mountain in the woods using this cellular router, and there was Wi-Fi there, and Nate, our walkie genius, was able to just remote in and add the Wi-Fi to the bonded solution, and so I had all of this, mobile internet, Wi-Fi internet. So like it was pretty sweet.
Good. Yeah. No, it's very cool what you can do.
Did you do a speed test?
I sure did. It was fast.
And you had a teenager with you, right?
I had a teenager with me.
That's the ultimate speed test.
He was sucking down the bandwidth.
Right, yeah.
6 months later, the UMCWBD by Lectrosonics is available now. We initially got a look at it at NAB earlier this year in April, so I guess it's really 7 months later. But the price on that is $19.25. And you get the specific bezels for what you want to use with it, along with the power cables. And I should probably describe what it is, but if you haven't seen it, it is a 4-unit rack mount multi-coupler with power distro, antenna distro that will fit any Lectrosonics.
Just to be clear, one rack unit that's capable of 4
That's right.
units inside, 4 receivers.
So if you were to put, let's say, 4 DSR4s in it, you would get 16 channels of wireless in with antenna distribution and power distribution in one 19-inch rack unit. So it's handy. It's cool.
Yeah.
It replaces, the UMCWBL.
And you can even mix and match, right?
Yep, you can mix and match. The bezels are agnostic. So, you can get a DCR 822, you could get a 411, you could get a 211 if you got one of those kicking around, a 195D.
And this is anything digital hybrid, right?
And any digital hybrid receiver that's designed to go in a bag. I wouldn't put an LR in there,
Right.
but pretty much, I wouldn't put an R400 in there. But anything that is designed to be in a bag will fit in this.
With a top-facing
That's
antenna
right.
and top-facing LCD.
Yep, that's right.
Listen, we can laugh at the 411s as older technologies,
Sure.
but I was on a shoot where I was doing comms, and the sound mixer brought a 411 because we were in the middle of Times Square, literally outside. And the 411 worked like a champ.
Yeah, they're pretty bulletproof, that's for sure.
And speaking of bulletproof things, PSC is now shipping their RF Multi-Mini. This is 2 antenna in, 3 channels, 3 receivers out. They also have the new RF SR4 racks, so you can use this for 4 slottable receivers. This also includes RF summing and power as well. We have this in our video from the Atlanta Mixers. Check this thing out. It's available in single band, dual band, as well as wide band. And again, these are now shipping. So if you have a gap in your bag or cart, PSC can fill that for you.
Very cool. So update on shipping from Wisycom. So early MTP61 orders have started shipping. So there are a handful of people out there that have gotten their MTP61s in the US. Congratulations. More are coming in the coming weeks. MTP61 orders, new orders, it's still back ordered about 12 weeks. There is a huge list of pre-orders to get through. The 8-bay charger for the MTP61 is available. I'll also just mention that the BFL T1 and R1, the fiber, are also generally available. We actually have a unit in stock right now, which is crazy. And even the MTK 982, which we do have a unit in stock. So things are starting to free up from Italy.
Wisycom's RF over fiber solutions are top notch. So I'm excited that we have those products in stock. Yeah, that's very cool. Sennheiser has an update. The EWDX EM2 Dante now available. 2-channel rack mount receiver with Dante. We got some LM670 charging modules now available. Fits into the L6000 rack charger and takes 2 BA70 batteries for the EWD wireless. And then there's some EWD software updates. Wireless System Manager adds bulk control for the Evolution Digital, the EWDX. There's a Smart Assist app update for Apple and Android. So very, very cool stuff from Sennheiser, new stuff.
Yeah. All right. More product updates for Deity this time. So Theos pre-orders are now being fulfilled. We actually got a bunch in today. They're shipping out today.
Wow.
So new orders are going to be filled in 1 to 2 weeks. The PR2 is still in development. They're ironing out some stuff to make it perfect. So check out, it should be around early 2024 to have that. And Deity has provided their information to different coordination software. So it's going to be available for use in TX Advance, Soundbase, and soon enough, it should be with Shure in Wireless Workbench 7.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rapid fire sales coming up. K-Tech Mighty Boom Sale. Save 15% on 9 different boom poles with a variety of cable options. Ends December 2nd. Hollyland, 20% off select Solidcom C1 systems. I know it's rapid fire, but those are definitely worth looking at. Those are the all-in-one headphone comms. Deity sale now through December 4th on the timecode boxes and Slate, the VO7 USB mic. And Cedar DNS4 and SE1 sale goes on now through December 17th.
More rapid fire sales as well until the end of December. IK Multimedia includes the iRig Pre-XLR, the HD microphone interfaces, the iRig Stream audio interfaces, as well as the iLoud micro monitors. Sennheiser is going to also have a sale on their headphones, USB mics, EWDP wireless sets. Shure will also be having a sale on their microphones, earphones, and headphones. And finally, Zoom has a sale for their handhelds and field recorders, multi-track mixers, and much, much more.
And with breaking news, I'm Hick Newston. This just in from Bubblebee New Products: the invisible skin tape, the mic hiding starter kit, the invisible lav tape strips, and the lav concealer tape strips. Shipping soon. Also from Coga, 10% off all Coga products in the month of December 2023. Check out GothamSound.com for more details on these products. Back to you in the studio.
All right. Well, if you've made it this far, we really appreciate you sticking with us. Lots to go over in November. See more videos on GothamSound.tv. Smash the subscribe button so that you get notified when we post a new video. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and does that really say TikTok, Joe?
Yes, Boomer.
Okay.
Listen, if you have ideas for events or live streams, please let us know at info@gothamsound.com. We are working on some of the ideas that you have given us, and we will be making announcements soon. And so thank you for watching.
Yeah. Happy holidays, everyone.
Yeah, take care, everyone.